This tutorial shows administrators how to import data from your student information system or any other data source. Let's get started on Setup, Import-Export. One option is to use Clever, which is a free third-party service that transfers data daily between your SIS and Jupyter. If your SIS already exports to Clever, then all you need to do is choose Import from Clever and click Activate. That takes you to the Clever website to link your account. If your SIS doesn't already export to Clever, you would need to follow instructions from Clever for how to set that up. See our help guide to see what data is included in Clever imports. If you are not using Clever, or you want to import more types of data than what Clever handles, you'll need to export your data files from your SIS. Each SIS handles exports differently, but there should be an option for data in columns as either CSV or as tab-delimited text. XML and other file types are not supported. Jupyter is flexible about the order of columns in data formatting. You'll need one data file for staff, which includes at least their names and email addresses. You'll need another file for students, which includes at least their names and ID numbers. You may optionally include demographic and contact information as long as there is only one row of data per student. You'll need a file of courses or topics of study, which includes at least the course title and course number. And you'll need a file for sections and rosters, which includes at least the teacher, section number, course number, and student IDs. In Jupyter, go to Setup, Import-Export. All of the import options are in this column. Let's start with Import Students as an example. You can copy and paste data from a spreadsheet or get the file from an FTP server. We'll go over FTP imports in a moment. Typically, you'll use this first option to upload the file from your computer. Once you've uploaded your file, you'll see the field mapping screen. Choose whether to overwrite any existing data. Either option is fine if your Jupyter account has no data yet. Check here if your data file has column headers. You can see a preview of your data here. Use the menus to identify each data field. Some fields will prompt with a second menu, like this one. You can leave the menu blank for any fields that should not be imported. Click Next, and you'll see a summary of the data to be imported. Then click Import. You'll need to repeat the process for each import file that you have. Note that while the general steps are the same, the field mapping options will be different for each type of import. To schedule automatic imports, your SIS must be set to export these files to an FTP server, either your own server or Jupyter's server. In Jupyter, choose any import, then select Transfer File from FTP Server. If you have your own FTP server, enter the login information here in the name of the file to import. If you want to use Jupyter's FTP server to receive files from your SIS, select SFTP Jupyter from this menu. Then click Get SFTP Password. This gives you login credentials for your SIS to export files to Jupyter. On the next screen, you'll see field mapping options just like manual file imports. Check Import Automatically to set a schedule for regular imports. Automated imports are most often used for data that changes regularly, like student enrollment, but can be set up for any type of import. Check Save these settings as and name your import. Then map your data fields. Click Next for a summary of your data, then Import. Let's return to Setup, Import-Export. Scroll to the bottom to view all of your scheduled jobs. Click a job to edit or delete it. That concludes this tutorial. Please see our help guide for additional details.